Okay, to start at recording. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
So what you said about this target, this goal, na, that is correct. So any achievement or anything, any goal which has to be achieved. Okay. So working towards that goal is basically called as a target. Okay. So the same will be applying for this carbon emission and energy consumption. Okay. So every company's goal or target is to reduce their emissions, right? And reduce
Yes.
their energy consumption as much as possible. So most of the companies, if you look now, they were changing from the non-renewable energy to renewable energy. Do you know what is non-renewable and renewable energy?
Renewable energy means which we can use further. They cannot run out. It's a
Sorry, which we
long
can use?
in future also means which it cannot run out.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So that means we can use it again and again.
Yes. Yes.
They
Hmm.
are sustainable, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Sustainable energy sources.
Yes, correct. So renewable is something like which has less emission or zero emission, and also we can use that energy again and again. Okay, so that is renewable energy, and non-renewable is quite opposite to that. Okay, so while using non-renewable energy, the emission will be more when compared to renewable. Okay, the examples of non-renewable energy are petrol, diesel, coal, natural gas, everything which has been burned or heated. Okay, so by putting them into burned or heat only, the energy will get produced. Okay, so during that process, too much of emissions will be emitted. Okay, so that is very harmful for the environment, right? So that is why we call it as non-renewable, and it cannot be used again and again. Okay, so if we are using 1 liter petrol and we are traveling for 30 to 40 kilometers, that 1 liter petrol will gone. Okay, we can't again use it again. Okay, again we need to spend money, again we need to put petrol. So that is why it is called as non-renewable energy. Okay, so like this only, the company were looking to change their energy consumption from non-renewable to renewable. So if they are changing, that means surely the emission will get reduced, right? So that is the concept of this carbon target. Okay, so each and every company will have this carbon target, particularly the companies which are emitting more amount of emission and consuming the more amount of the energy. Okay, non-renewable energy. Those companies are keenly looking into the reduction of those two. Okay, so that details na it will be disclosed in every company's report. Okay, either it can be annual report or sustainability report. In both the reports, they will disclose. Okay, so that details only we are going to capture in this 55 data points. Okay, so all these 55 data points na basic only, like looking by the data point name itself, you can get to know what to capture. Okay, so some of the data points in this are interlinked. Okay, that we will see in future. Okay, so now let me give a general instruction about this carbon target. Okay, so this is the definition. A carbon target is the central policy instrument of intentional greenhouse gas emission reduction policies. So this policy is a key pillar of the climate policy. So every company will have this climate policy, and in that this carbon target will be the key pillar. Okay, this is the main policy that every company should have. Okay, they typically include heavy consideration of emission budgets, which are calculated using a rate of warming per standard emission of carbon dioxide, a historical baseline temperature, a desired level of confidence, and target global average temperature to stay below. The main aim is to be stay below the temperature of the global average temperature. Okay, so there is an third party organization which is called science based target initiative. Okay, their work is to analyze each and every company's this emission value and the energy value, and they will provide a certification in the on the basis of temperature. Okay, like it will be like 2 degree or 1.5 degree, like that. It depends on the company's nature. Okay, so the global average temperature na, that should be like 2 degree or below 2 degree only. So every company should stay below this average temperature. So that is the main aim of this policy and this carbon target. Okay, so this is the definition, and we have a few more points. So carbon target data
Sir,
points
can you
are
please explain first point again?
first.
Sorry.
No, this is the definition. A carbon
Yeah,
target.
the
It can be a emission target or energy target. Okay, it is one of the key pillar of the climate policy. Okay, this is definition I'm saying. Okay, so every company's goal is to reduce their emission and their energy consumption, non-renewable energy consumption. Okay, so every company should stay below the global average temperature that is preset by the third-party organization called SBTI. Okay, so it is a certification issued by that particular organization. So each and every company will have this certification. Okay, so this is the general definition of this carbon target. Okay,
okay, sir.
yeah. And the
Okay,
next
sir.
point, next point is carbon target data points are mostly interlinked, as I said, with one another. So before capturing any target, kindly double check whether it is an actual target or not. So in target now we have 55 data points. Okay, so let me give some examples. See this example. So every target will look like this only. Okay. So the target is mostly we'll be capturing the emission target or energy target. These two targets only we are going to capture. And in both these now we have both absolute target as well as intensity target. So basically the general targets you are going to capture is emission target and energy target. Okay. So every target is like fixing for a future date. Okay, so target means fixing for a future period. Okay, for example, if I'm going to achieve something na, in future only I will achieve that. Okay, not in the past. Okay, likewise the same here na, they will be fixing a year which is the future year as their target year. Okay, and they will also say how many percentage, how much percentage they are going to reduce or they are going to increase. Okay, that also they will say, and they will also say from when they are going to perform this target. So the starting point. So that starting point is called as the baseline year. Okay, so from baseline year they will fix a target to a future year. Okay, let's assume now we are in 2022 and I'm fixing a target for 2025. Okay, then I will track my targets performance from 2022 to 2025, right? So the starting point will be called as baseline year and the ending, the future year will be called as the target year. And what I'm going to reduce or what I'm going to increase, that is either it can be an emission or it can be energy. Okay, those two only we are going to capture, not more than that. Okay, and how many percentage, how much percentage I'm going to reduce or I'm going to increase, that will also be there. So if you have all these four information in one place, that is called as target data. Okay, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
So if you see this highlighted
Yes.
lines, I'm just reading it. Just see whether all the uh, four important points now that I have informed you, whether it is available here or not. In 2019, we committed to becoming carbon neutral as an organization by 2030. And in 2020, substantiated this by announcing a new carbon emission reduction target of 50% by 2030, with 2018 as the baseline year, both in terms of absolute emission and intensity. So have you got all the details here? We have our
Yes, sir.
baseline here. We also have
Yes,
our
sir.
target here. and how much percentage the reduction, and what we are going to reduce. So all this available in one place. So this is my target data. Okay, this is how you need to look for the carbon data. So it should have your baseline year and it should have the future, I mean the target year, how much percentage the reduction is, and what they're going to reduce. All this should be available in that particular paragraph. Okay, it can be in paragraph or they also disclose like this tabular. If you see this example, this is also target data only. The company name is AbbVie. Okay, AbbVie's environmental targets. All changes are relative to 2015 baseline. And the first is reduce absolute carbon emission. 2025 target is 25 percentage and 2035 target is 50 percentage. And increase percentage of electricity purchased from renewable sources. 2025 target is 50% and 2035 target is 100%. So did you got all the information, all the four datas?
Yes, sir.
I have the baseline here, I have the
Yes.
target here,
Yes,
I
sir.
have the reduction percentage, and I also have what they're going to reduce and what they're going to increase. Can you able to differentiate it? This is reduction and this is increase. Okay, so all this should be available for a target data. Okay, then only it will be considered as target. Okay, so that is what the second point is saying. Are mostly interlinked with one another. So before capturing any target, kindly double check whether it is an actual target or not. Okay, so that is the meaning of the second point. And the third point is mostly all the relevant information of target will be disclosed in same place or nearby. As I said, all the information will be available in one place only. Okay, in most of the cases, it will be in the same place. In some cases, you need to check using the keywords that we will see now. Okay. And the fourth point is the major keyword used for checking the target in report is target, goal, and aim. Okay. So please make a note of this three keyword: target, goal, and aim. If you use this three keyword in any report now, if the target data is available there, na, surely it will take you there. Okay. Target, goal, and aim. And the next point is a complete target will have all the mandatory information like target year, target reduction percentage, target direction, and target description. Target description is nothing but we have seen that 4 lines right in that para. That is our description. Okay. So this is a reference link for carbon emission reduction. I mean target. You can check it in YouTube. Okay, you can watch it in YouTube while we share this document with you. Okay. Okay, so this is the general instruction team regarding this carbon target. Okay, now we are going to see those 55 data points one by one. Okay, so the first data point is the baseline year. Okay, so as I said, what is baseline year?
The year from which it starts, sir,
No,
to the
from
target
which
point,
they
where
track the
the
performance.
okay.
From which they are tracking the performance of the target. Okay, so the description says like the base year of target expressed as percentage reduction over time may be null if no baseline is specified in target terms. If baseline here is not available in the report, then this data point should be leave as blank. Okay, you can see the answer over here. Okay, this is the example. So if you see this now, this is the target data available in the report of Hong Kong Land Holdings Limited, which is Sustainability Report 2020. Here is the link of that. Okay, so in this snap, they're saying like they have set a 2030 energy reduction target and monitor progress. Okay, under that they are given four different operations. Okay, which is located in four different countries like Hong Kong, Singapore, Cambodia, and Beijing. Okay, and they're saying like this is an energy reduction target for 2030 and they're going to reduce 37 percentage in Hong Kong compared to year 2008. Okay, they're comparing with 2008 means they're tracking from 2008. Okay, from 2008 to 2030 they're going to track this target's performance. Okay, So that is why this 2008 is called as baseline year. And every baseline year will be the present year or the past year. Okay, not the future year. Okay, please make a note of it. Every baseline year will be a present year or the past year, not the future year. Okay, it can be 2022 or it can be past like 2021, 20, 19, 18, 17. It will be like past only. No baseline year will be future year like 2023, 2024, 2025. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So all these four different percentage reduction they have given for four different locations, and for four different percentages they are comparing with four different years. So this target is compared with 2008, and this is compared with 2018, and this is also 18, and this from 2019. Okay. So these are the keywords, like if you can search using the keyword baseline or compared, okay, or base year. So these are the keywords which will you fetch this data. Okay. So this is the concept of this baseline year tip. So this is a numeric data point and you're going to capture 2008, 2018 like this only. Okay. The value should be captured over here. Okay.
Sir,
So
so one
this is,
minute.
yeah.
So it is for a particular country they'll be asking, or the whole set of the company from which year they have started this program or this target, it seems.
No, this is regarding this company's target. This company has four operations in four different locations. Okay. So in four different locations, they are setting four different targets. This is not same target. Okay.
Okay,
Because
okay,
in
okay.
Hong Kong, they are going to reduce 37%. In Singapore, it is 15. Cambodia, it is 15, and Beijing, it is 12. So what you need to do is you need to capture each and every target separately.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
But they're whole together, they're all in all the countries, the target year will be 2030.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, okay. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So any doubts in this baseline year?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. If it is not available, you can leave it as blank. Okay. No need to capture anything. And our second data point is baseline year value. So by seeing this two data points, can you able to infer anything? Baseline year value. Okay, let me explain. So the description says like this data point describes value of target metric of the base year. Okay, so value means either, as I said now, we are capturing emission or energy target. So this two targets will have some value. Okay, the percentage we know how much they are going to reduce, and if we have the value of that percentage now, that is called as the value. Okay, so if you see this example, okay, this is the target data. Okay, sorry, this is the emission data. Okay, uh, this company is going to reduce their emission. Okay, goal performance is percentage of reduction from 2014 they are saying. So that means from 2014 they are tracking their performance. Okay, so we have to check whether do I have the value of 2014 or not. Okay, this is the emission data. Okay, they're saying like total scope 1 and scope 2 GAG emission. This is the emission data, and these are the values. Okay, if my baseline year is 2014 and I have the number or the amount of emission emitted at 2014. Okay, so this will be my baseline year value. Okay, so I will capture this 52,183 here. Okay, the same here, my baseline year is 2008, and in this report if I got the emission or the energy consumption, this is energy target, right? Energy reduction target. So if I have the energy consumption which is consumed at the year 2008, if I have that value now, that I will capture in this data point. But for this company I don't have the baseline year value. I just have the baseline year. That's it. Okay. But here I have the baseline year and I also have the value that has been emitted in 2014. That is 52,183 metric tons of CO2e. That is emission. Okay. So I will capture the value over here. 2014 is my baseline year and this company has emitted this much of emission in 2014. Okay, so this is the value you need to capture for the baseline year. You got it? Do you have any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Yes, understood.
Yeah. Every detail will be uh, disclosed in report only. Only if it is disclosed only you are going to capture. If it is not disclosed, you are going to leave this as blank only. Okay. So make a note of it also. You are not going to infer anything or you are not going to assume anything. If it is disclosed, you will capture. If it is not, you will leave it as blank. Okay. So the third data point is target year. So can anyone tell me what is target year?
The year at which they have to complete their target, like this reduction or some energy consumption, whatever it may be,
Hmm.
on which year they set a target, like the future year.
Yes. So as I earlier said, na base year will be present year or past year, right? So this target year also has some uh, concept. So target year will always be future year, and in some cases, it can be past year. Okay. Can anyone tell me why it can also be a past year?
Because they
Because they
already
might have
achieved
achieved that
the
target.
Yes, exactly. So every company will disclose their achieved target and they are going to achieve target. Both target they will disclose. Not every company, only few companies. If they disclosed their achieved target, for example, for 2021, they have set a target and they have achieved it. Okay, that they have disclosed in the 2022 report. Okay, so that means that target has been already set and it has been achieved. Okay, so that is why it is called as achieved target, and some targets may not be achieved in 2021. So that is called as target not achieved. Okay, so target year can be past year and also the future year. Okay,
Okay, sir.
yeah. So these are the keywords you can use to find the target year, goal and aim. Okay, this is the major keyword. In this sample they're saying like 2030, they said 2030 energy reduction targets. Okay, so that means 2030 is my target year. They are setting this reduction percentages for 2030. By 2030 they have to reduce it, this percentages. Okay, so this is my target year. So anyone having any doubts in this target year? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay,
No, sir.
okay, good. And the fourth data point is target year value. You all know what we have to capture for baseline year
Hello,
value.
sir.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, who's that? Okay, can I move to the next data point?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
So you all know what we need to capture for baseline year value. Can anyone say what we are going to capture for this target year value?
We can't be sure,
In
sir. If the target is already achieved, like what you said in before, that time we can mention. If it not so, we can't mention any value because we are not yet have been complete the target, right? So how can we know the value?
Your question is correct only, but some companies now will disclose the value also. For example, here they are saying like they are going to reduce 37 percentage, 15 percentage, 12 percentage. In percentage, they can give the reduction. Why can't they give in the terms of value? They can also give the value. For example, let's assume they are saying value over here. Uh, by 2030, they are going to reduce 100 tons of emissions. Like this also they can give. Okay, so by 2030, they are going to reduce 100 tons of emission from their company. So that 100 tons is the target year value. Okay, they need to achieve that 100 tons by 2030. They have to reduce that. So that value will be the target year value. Okay, as I said, if it is disclosed, you are going to capture. If it is not, you are going to leave it as blank. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So, and one more important note, we also have the target which is called as net zero and carbon neutral. So anyone know what is net zero and carbon neutral?
No, sir.
Okay, so
Zero
this,
emission.
yes, exactly. So these two are related to emission only. Okay, net zero and carbon neutral. Okay, here what the company will say na, by 2025 we will become net zero. So that means at the year of 2050, there won't be any emissions emitted from their company. The emission value will be zero. Okay, so that they can assure through a target. Okay, so by fixing that target, they will perform towards that target. Okay, they will reduce the amount of emission as much as possible till 2050, and they will make sure that in 2050 their emission value will be zero. So for this target, net zero and carbon neutral, both are same only. Carbon neutral will also like zeroing the emission. Okay. If this two target is disclosed in your report, okay. So by default, you can mark it as zero. Why can anyone say? Your target value, you can mark it as zero.
Since there will be no emission, that will be the target.
Yes, we already know
Since
the target is about net zero and carbon neutral. So this target means zeroing the emissions. So by the target year, if they achieved the target, na, the target year value is going to be zero only. So by default, we can mark it as zero if it is a net zero and carbon neutral target. Okay, this also will be disclosed in report whether it is a net zero target or carbon neutral target. Okay.
okay, sir.
Sir, if the value is in percentage, can we note that, sir?
No, as I said, you are not going to calculate anything or infer anything. Okay. If it's in percentage, you are not going to capture it because this data point is about the value, target year value. This is a numeric data point. Okay, not a percentage data point. If it is percentage, now you can capture the percentage. Okay, here
Okay,
it is numeric. If the numeric value is given, you are going to capture. If not, you will be leaving this as blank only. For
yes, sir.
this two targets only, by default, you will be capturing as zero. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So see this example. So this is the target line. Okay, this hash color line. This is target line, and my target year is 2030. Okay, and this is the emission reduction target. Okay, they are saying like emission. This is the target emissions. Okay, all the hash color were target emissions. So by 2030, they have to reduce to 85,900 metric tons. So in 2018 and 19 and 2021, their emissions were this much. Okay, but in 2030 they have to reduce to 85,900. So this amount we need to capture under target year value. Okay, target year value. I'm adding that value over 85,900. Okay, so this is my target year value. . Okay, the next data point is target reduction percentage. So this is a percentage type data point. Someone asked, right, what we need to do if percentage is given. So that you need to capture over here. That to the reduction percentage. So the description says that describes the magnitude of the target reduction or increase expressed as a percentage change from the baseline year value. Okay, so every target, as I said, will have reduction percentage. If you see the same example, here they are saying like they set a 2030 energy reduction target for 2030 and they are going to reduce by 37 percentage. So this is in percentage. So this is in percentage. So this percentage only we are going to capture over here. Okay, this is percentage related data point. Okay, that is why we also mentioned the percentage symbol over here. Okay, 37, 15, 15, 12. This you are going to capture, and also you are going to capture it as separately only. Okay, because each line is different target because the reduction percentage differs. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and one more note for this data point. As I said, net zero and carbon neutral is like zeroing the emissions. Okay, so if it is zeroing the emissions now, then what will be the target reduction percentage? When will be the emission value zero? Can anyone tell?
100% reduction, sir.
Exactly. If any company reduce the 100 percentage of reduction, I mean 100 percentage of their emission, then only the emission value will be zero, right? So the same applies over here. If the target you are capturing is a net zero or carbon neutral target, okay, because for this target they will not say we are going to reduce 100 percentage. So instead of that they are saying net zero and carbon neutral. That means reducing to 100 percentage. Okay, so that is why here they are saying like if the target is regarding net zero or carbon neutral, the reduction percentage should be 100. And if it is 100 percentage, then the target year value will be zero. As I said now, most of the data points were interlinked. Okay, so if you are marking here as zero, your target value is zero now, and automatically your target reduction percentage will be 100. So if you are marking here as 100 percentage reduction, then your emission value for target year value is zero. These two were interlinked in terms of these two targets, net zero and carbon neutral. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any doubts, team? Anyone having any doubts in this target reduction percentage?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you explain data point third and fourth? Because due to network issue, I couldn't able.
Okay. Third and fourth. So target year is a third data point. It is nothing but the year for which the target is fixed. Okay. Or when they are going to meet the target. Okay. So that year is called as target year. So every target year will be the future year as well as the past year. So past year in the sense if the company disclose any achieved target. Okay, for example, if they are setting a target for 2021 or 2022 and they have achieved it, 2020. Okay, if they are achieved it and that data is disclosed in your current report, then that target will be considered as the achieved target. Okay, so that target also we need to capture as achieved target. Okay, that is why I'm saying target year can be future year or the past year. Okay, so the year is the value we are going to capture over here. So in this snap, they're saying like they're setting a 2030 energy reduction target. Okay, so this 2030 is our target year. Okay,
Okay, sir.
Okay, and the fourth data point is target year value. As I said, for baseline year value, we'll be looking for the value whether it is disclosed for that particular baseline or not. Okay, the same applies here. If the target year we know and we also have the value for the target year, means we will capture that here. Okay, so in this snap, they're saying like this is the emission reduction target. Okay, they're saying like metric tons, scope 1, 2, 3 emission target. So we have the target year over here 2030. Okay, so this is the target line. Okay, if you see this value, this is the value which is in metric tons. Okay, so this is not in percentage. So any value which is not in percentage na, that we can take for the baseline year value. If it is an emission target, it will be mostly in the unit of tons only. It can be metric tons, okay, or kilotons or kg of tons, anything which is in tons, that is the uh, value for the unit for emission. Okay, and if it is an energy target, so energy will be monitored, measured in the different unit like mwh, kWh, liters, gallons, anything. Okay, so that will be considered as the energy target. So okay, energy target value. So here we have the 85,900 metric tons of the emission. So this is for the year 2030 and 2030 is my target year and I'm capturing the value of the target year 85,900. Okay. And
Okay, sir.
and the note here I have given is like for net zero and carbon neutral target. Okay, so net zero and carbon neutral target is nothing but zeroing the emissions. Okay, so these are related to emission target like zeroing the emissions. So if the report you are processing that has net zero or carbon neutral target, means by default you will be capturing the value as zero over here. Okay, so if it is a net zero target now, then at the target year, your value going to be zero only. Okay, there won't be any value for the target year, so it will be zero. So by default, you need to capture a zero if net zero and carbon neutral target is disclosed. Okay. Hello, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Ye-
Okay. Okay. So the sixth data point is current reporting year value. So we have seen the baseline and the target, and now it is current year. Okay. So the same applies over here. If the value is given for the current year in the sense the year for which the report is disclosed. Suppose if you are processing a 2022 report, then your current year will be 2022, and you have the value for the current year 2022. You can capture that here. If you are processing a 2020 report or 2021 report, then the respective year will be your current year. Okay, and if you have the value for the current year, you will be capturing here in this data point. Okay, the value of the current year with regards to target, progress in achieving the target. Okay, so this is captured to find the progress of achieving the target. Okay, for example, 2008 is your baseline year and your target year is 2030. Okay, and why we are capturing this current year value in the sense, let's assume in 2008 the emission data is 100 tons. Okay, by 2030 the target is fixed to zero the emissions. Okay, net zero target. And how much far we have came from the target, how much we have achieved so far, so that we can find with the help of the current year value. In the current year, let's assume we are emitting 50 tons of emissions. So in 2008, we are emitting 100 tons. By the year, we are almost reduced 50% of that value, right? From 100 tons to 50 tons we have achieved so far. And by 2030, we will also reduce this remaining 50 tons also. Okay, so to find the progress now in the target, progress in achieving the target only, we are capturing this current year value. Okay. So if you see this now, this is the 2019 report. Okay, so let's assume 2018 as our baseline year. Okay, and 2030 is our target year, and 2019 is our current year because this is 2019 report. Okay, so this is my current year. The target is fixed to reduce to 85,900 metric tons. In 2018, they have emitting 1,69,847 tons of emission, and throughout the year, one single year, they have reduced to 1,53,228 tons. So they have achieved something, right? From this to this, they have achieved. They have tried to reduce a few tons. Okay, so this is the progress, and by the year passing, surely they will reduce to 85,900. So but this data point, for this data point, we need the current year's value. So if I have that now, I will capture that 153,228. My current year is 2019, and the value for my current year is this 153,228. If I have that now, I will capture. If here nothing is disclosed, it is blank now, then I will also leave this as blank only. Okay. Team, have you understood this current reporting year value?
Yes, sir. Actually, one doubt, sir. Current year means the document which
Yes.
they were giving. Suppose it is 2022 means we have to take that particular year value or how, sir?
Yeah.
Current year value.
No, the year in which the report has been published. Okay. If it is an 2020
Yes, sir.
report or 2021 report or 2020 report. Okay.
Okay.
What report you are processing now, that year will be your current year.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So can I move to next data point?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
can you explain the current year once again?
The current year is nothing but the year of the report which you are processing. Okay. If you're processing a 2020 report means your current year will be 2020. And if we have the value for 2020, you can capture that over here. If you see this sample, this is an annual report for 2019. Okay. So this is the emission data as well as the target data. Okay, because we have the target information here and the value of the emissions. Okay, so for 2019 I'm having the emission value 1,53,228 metric tons. This is the amount they have emitted in 2019. Okay, so my current year is 2019 and I have the value and I'm capturing it 1,53,228. If I'm processing a 2021 report, then this will be my current year and I will capture this value. Okay, but I have searching in the 2019 report. Okay, so that is why I'm capturing this value. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And the next is current reporting year progress. So this is nothing but the same. Here we are capturing the value for the current year, and here we are going to capture the percentage of the current year. Okay, both were same only. There we are capturing the value, here we are capturing the percentage. Okay, so in this example they're saying like they have set a target for 2020 2013 as the baseline year. Okay, so far they have achieved 58% reduction in carbon dioxide equivalent emission. Okay, so this 58 is my current year's progress. Okay, in 2020 they're saying right in 2020. So this 58% I will capture here. Here I don't have the value, but I have the percentage. Okay, so that percentage I will capture here. So the description also says that the percentage progress of the current year with regards to the target. Like I said, this is also captured for progress, to check the progress in achieving the target. Only if the value is given in percentage. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Any doubt in this current reporting year progress percentage?
No, sir.
And the next is current reporting year. Okay, so for this data point, as you all know, it ends with year. So that means we are going to capture the year only. Okay, so in this example, 2019 is my current year. This is a 2019 report. Okay, so 2019 is my current year. Then I will capture the same year over here, current reporting year. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So you need to capture the current reporting year if disclosed in the report. If not, you will leave it as blank. Okay. So the keyword for this data point is fiscal year. Okay, fiscal year or year end. Okay, or fiscal year end. Anything work. Okay. Okay. So this is like,
Can you please explain data point 8? Sorry.
this is year as we all know, right? We have seen the baseline year and target year. Now it is current reporting year. As I said, if you are processing a 2020 report, then 2020 is your current reporting year. Okay, if you're processing a 2021 report, then your current year will be 2021. It is up to the report which you are processing. Okay, so here I'm processing a 2019 report. So 2019 is the last value which I have in this report. Okay, I don't have 2020 value. That means it is 2019 report. Okay, so I'm capturing this year as my current year, 2019.
Okay, sir.
And for this data point, I will capture the month only if it is disclosed. Okay, there will be a drop down for this, like Jan to December. Okay, in this disclosure now I have only the year, not the month or date. Okay, if I have that now, I will capture it. If it is not disclosed, then I won't capture it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And the 10th data point is targeted change percentage. So as I said, a few data points were interlinked. The same applies here. This targeted change percentage and the target reduction percentage. This 5th and 10th data point were interlinked. Okay. So whatever the percentage value you are capturing in the data point target reduction percentage, the same you are going to capture in the 10th data point, targeted change percentage. Okay. Actually, I have a template of that. Let me show you. Common target template. So this is an template which we have populated in Excel. Okay. So this is the data point target reduction percentage, and this is the data point targeted change percentage. Okay. Target reduction. Whatever you are capturing here, same you have to capture here. Reduction percentage is capturing here. Targeted change percentage.
Raymond, your voice is very low.
Yeah, now it is right. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So whatever the percentage you're capturing under target reduction data point, the same has to be captured under targeted change percentage, this data point. If I'm capturing here as well, then this data point also 12. Okay, if I'm capturing 100, then this should also be 100. Okay, so this two were
The
interlinked,
target reduction and target change will be same.
will be same. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is over, and the 11th data point is target direction. So this is a drop down data point team. Okay, so we have three
Hello,
options.
sir.
Yeah,
Sir, would you maximize the screen? I think you have minimized the screen.
which screen?
The screen now you are sharing.
Huh? It is already
It's not
zoomed.
maximized.
It is already in
No,
170
I think
percentage.
it is showing some right side corner to us.
Is that so, team?
No, sir, it is
Everyone?
clear only, sir.
It is
No,
clear
sir, it is
only, sir.
visible for me.
It is clear only, ma. You can check your internet connection. Maybe due to the network lag, na, you may have this
Yeah,
issue.
yeah. Yeah, I will check it once.
Hello,
So
Yeah,
the
sir.
it is now.
yes, yeah.
Hello, sir. Can you explain ninth one, sir? Ninth target data point.
To the current reporting month. Okay, as I said, current reporting year is disclosed. You are capturing it. If the month is also disclosed, na, then you will capture it in this data point. Current reporting month, whether it is Jan, Feb, March. So this is a drop down you will have from Jan to December. If it is disclosed, you will capture the month. Okay. If it is not, you should leave it as blank. Okay. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, it's audible, sir.
Yeah.
You are audible.
Okay. So the 11th data point is target direction. Okay. So this is a drop down data point. We have three options under this drop down, like positive, negative, and maintain. Okay. Target direction is nothing but in which direction the target is moving. Okay. So input if target is reduction or an increase. Okay. Maintain or others. So for this will be your uh, the template will look like this. Okay, there will, if you click this now, you will have four options: positive, negative, maintain, others. This others mostly you will not use. Okay, you will use the first three only. Okay, so don't worry about this others. Okay, so we'll explain when you need to choose positive, negative, and maintain. Okay, so if any energy target, okay, energy target you are capturing. Okay, the energy target is nothing but moving from non-renewable to renewable, as I said earlier. Okay, so that means they will lower their non-renewable consumption and they will increase their renewable consumption. Okay, so any energy target you are capturing now, that direction will always be in positive. Okay, energy target says increasing the energy consumption, whether it is absolute or in intensity, from non-renewable to renewable. Okay, if if the target you are capturing is an energy target, that too increasing from non-renewable to renewable, in this case you will be marking this as positive. Every energy target will be a positive target only. Okay, have you understood this positive?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and for negative na, it is like opposite, like the reduction. Here we have seen the increase, now here it is reduction. So any target which says like reducing the energy or emission, okay, that reduction target will move towards the negative direction. Okay, so if you see this example, The first target says like reduce absolute carbon emission, okay, by 25 percentage by 2025 and 50 percentage by 2035. So this is a reduction target, okay. By 2025 they are going to reduce 25 percentage, and 2035 they are going to reduce 50 percentage, okay. So here, yeah.
Yeah, Rahman. Reducing emission means it's a positive sign, right?
No, in view of this target, carbon target, na, we are looking it in a different way. Okay, if they are reducing the emission, okay, then it is negative. You can keep like that in mind. Okay, if they are reducing anything, then it is negative. If they are increasing anything, then it is positive.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah. So they are reducing the absolute carbon emission. So by 2025 it is 25 percentage, and by 35 it is 50 percentage. Okay, this is not the increase, this is reduction. They are reducing 25 percentage, and by 2035 they are reducing 50 percentage. Okay, so this reduction will be considered as negative only. Okay,
Sir, one doubt, sir.
yeah.
Sir, if suppose that carbon value or net zero amount something we are just seen now,
Oh,
sir,
oh.
previous. So in that case, it comes under negative, sir.
Yes, it is in negative only. It is also reducing,
Okay,
like
sir.
zeroing the
Yeah,
emission.
yeah. Yes,
Uh,
sir. Okay, sir.
So that target would also be in the negative direction only. And if you see the second target here, they're saying increasing the percentage of electricity purchased from renewable sources. Okay, actually they are moving from non-renewable to renewable. Okay, in 2020 it is 28 percentage, and by 2025 50 percentage of their consumption will be renewable, and by 2035 100 percentage of their consumption will be renewable only. Okay, so this is like increasing the source of the renewable, okay, renewable sources. So this target will be capturing it as positive, positive for increase in energy consumption. So these are the keywords which you can use, like reduction, reduce, decrease, increase, improving, and improve. Okay, if it is reduction, reduce, decrease, na, it is in negative direction. If it is like increase, improving, improve, na, then it is in positive direction. Okay, so maintain is the third option. When it will be na, it will come into picture means if the disclosure says like uh, the emission that has been emitted by the company is same, okay, or a constant value throughout the years. Okay, for example, if a company is emitting 100 tons of emission each year, okay, in that case, we will be marking it as maintain. There is no increase or no decrease in the emission, and there is also no increase in the energy consumption from renewable sources. Okay, this is very rare case, maintain. Okay, maintain will not be available in every report. Okay, mostly it will be in positive or negative only. Okay. So just know the concept of this maintain. If any company says like they are emitting or they are consuming the value of I mean consumption or the emission is same throughout the year. So that in that case we will be marking it as maintain. Okay, they are maintaining in a constant value, constant level in the same level. So that is the meaning of this option, maintain. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So the 12th data point is target description. So description is nothing but whatever disclosed in the report that you are copy pasting it over here. Okay. So if you see this sample now, this is the target data I have in the report for Adeco Group AG annual report. Okay. So the target information starts from here in 2019. We committed to become carbon neutral from starting in 2019 till this for scope 1 and 2. So till this is my target information which disclosed in report. What I will do now, I will copy from in 2019 to this scope 1 and scope 2. I will copy it and I will paste it over here. Okay. So whatever the data disclosed regarding a target in the report, that you need to copy paste it. That's it. So that is your description. And also one important note which is given by the client. Okay. In the target description, please ensure that proper target is mentioned. Because target description and checkbox are interlinked. So if we are marking energy use scope 1, 2, 3, same should be mentioned in the target description also. So as I said, now there were interlinked data points like this target description, this data point and target type. We have another data point called target type. So both these were interlinked. Okay. So we'll see in future that. So as of now, whatever information is disclosed in the report regarding a target, you need to capture all. Nothing should be left behind in this description. Okay. By seeing
Okay,
the
sir.
description itself, we will come to know what target it is, what is the target year, what is the baseline year, and what they are going to reduce and how much percentage they are going to reduce. All should be disclosed in this description. Okay. Like that you need to capture. Okay. Here it is in paragraph, we can just like that copy paste it. But what if the disclosure is like this? What you will do? Can anyone tell me?
Screenshot, sir.
No, you can't able
Mention
to
the
add
page number.
screenshot. No, can't able to add snap in the data point. And you should not also mention the page number.
We have
Then we
to
can
convert to
explain.
paragraph.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
what you
We
We
say?
have
need to
to.
type the correct analysis.
Or should we need to type, sir?
Yes, you need to type. Actually, you need to frame the sentence. Okay. So
Baseline year and
uh,
everything.
by seeing this, how I can frame it now? Reducing absolute greenhouse gas emission, scope 1 and 2 market based. First, I will capture this for the target year 2050 by 25 percentage and 2035 by 50 percentage. So like this, I will frame the description and I will capture it. That's it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the next data point is this a science-based target? Okay. So if you see this template now, we have finished so far like 12 data points. Okay. So this is a set of data points. This P, Q, and R column. Is this a science-based target? Target SBTi status and validated by SBTi. These three were set of data points. Okay. So this is a yes or no data point. Okay. If you click this, you will have two options, yes or no. So we'll see when you will mark as yes and when you will mark as no. So for this data point, what we need to look is we need to check, does the company claim this target is linked to science-based temperature scenarios or not? Okay. So every target the company discloses in their report can be a science-based target or cannot be a science-based target. Okay. When it is a science-based target means when actually every company will frame a target, okay, and they will send that target to this third-party organization, the science-based target initiative, okay, and they will analyze that target and they will approve it. Okay, when they approve it, then that target becomes a science-based target. If they are not approved and the approval is pending, in that case, it is not a science-based target. Okay. So by seeing the disclosure itself, we can come to a conclusion that is a science-based target or not. If you see this sample, this is the target data. They're saying like we have established a 2019 baseline year for our scope 1 and 2 carbon emission. and our goals for scope 1 and scope 2 are based on the science based target initiative guidelines. Okay, so they have their target and it is based on the SBTI's guidelines. That means they approved it. Okay, based on their guidelines itself, they framed this target. So this is a SBTI target. Okay, so we can mark this as yes, it is a science-based target. Okay, so the keywords are SBTI, science-based target initiative. Okay, these two keywords you can use to find whether the target is a science-based target or not. Okay, so this is the major
Okay, sir.
keyword, SBTI and science-based target initiative. Okay, so what if this line is not there? This based on the science-based initiative guidelines, it is not disclosed in this report. Then it means it is not a SBTI target. Then I will mark it as no. Okay, so based on the disclosure only, we will be marking it as yes or no. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so as I said, these three were set of target and these three were also interlinked. Okay, I mean the set of data points which is interlinked. First, we are finding whether it is a science-based target or not. Okay, if it is a science-based target, if we are marking it as yes over here for a target, then only you need to capture these two. Okay, in the beginning itself, you come to know that it is not a science-based target and you marked it as no, then you no need to fill this. You understood?
Yes, sir, understood.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
we'll see the yes case. If I'm marking it as yes, okay, then this data point, what I need to capture is I I have got the information that my target is a science-based target. Okay, and after that I will check for the SBTI status. I mean the approval. As I said, what approval that this SBTI has given for this target. I will search for this information, like whether the SBTI is approved for 2 degree or SBTI approved for 1.5 degree, or it is approved well below 2 degree, or it is just an SBTI committed. Only this 4 option you will use. Okay, if nothing is disclosed, you will mark it as no evidence. Okay, so we'll see.
Sir, how come we'll know whether it is 2 degree or 5 degree?
Yeah, we need to search with the respective keyword. Okay, we'll show an example. If you see this sample, this is the target information. Okay, as I said, no, in 2019 we committed to become carbon neutral. These are the target information, and after that they are saying like this ambition reduction target was set in line with the methodology of the science-based initiative, consistent with the level of decarbonization required to keep global temperature increase to 1.5 degrees Celsius. I have got the degree details right.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, if you have the degree details, then only you will be capturing the respective option. Okay, if it is not disclosed, but only if it is a science-based target like this. For this Striker Corporation, they have not given the degree details. Only this is disclosed. It is just an SBTI target. Okay. Then in this case, what I will do is I will mark this as yes. Okay, it is a science-based target. But for this data point, I don't have the degree details. So what I will do is it is just
SBTA
an
approved.
SBTI approved. That's it. I
Okay,
don't have
okay,
any
sir.
option.
Okay.
But in this example, I have the degree details. Okay, so I'm marking it as SBTI approved 1.5 degrees Celsius. If it is 2 degree, you'll be capturing 2. If it is below 2, you'll be capturing the below 2. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, ma'am, Preeti is waiting at lobby. She is messaging me that I need to inform you. Thank you.
Okay, so this is all about the targeted SBTI status data point team. So do you have any doubts in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. So, and the third is validated by SBTA. This is also a yes or no data point. Okay. So for this data point, what you are going to find now, it is very simple. The keyword is only this two. One second. Validated, verified. Okay. So as I said, every target has to be approved by SBTI. Okay. So if it is approved, okay, if it is validated or verified, then we will be marking it as yes. Okay, if it is not verified, if it is not validated, if it is not approved, then we will be marking it as no. Okay, this is particularly for validation, whether it is validated by SBTI or not. Okay, so these are the keywords: validate, validated, verified. So please use these three keywords alone. Okay, or approved. You can also use no, you should not use approved, only these three keywords, whether it should be validated, validate or verified by SBTI. If you see this snap now, in this they're saying like the greenhouse gas and electricity goals are verified by science-based target initiative. So we have the exact word verified, right? So only when you will mark it as yes, when this is disclosed, verified or validated or validate. Okay, that's it. If it is not disclosed, then you will leave it as blank. You will not mark it as no because we don't have the information. Okay, you will be leaving it as blank. Okay, so did you understood these three data points, SBTI related data points?
Yes, sir.
Do you
Yes,
have
sir.
Yes,
any
sir.
questions in this?
No.
No,
So
sir.
far.
Okay, okay. So our next data point is target coverage. So this is nothing but you are going to search whether the disclosed target covers the all operations, the whole company or not. Okay, that is the thing you are going to search. So the description says like this data point describes whether the target covers global company-wide operations or any specific segments such as sites, locations and operations. Okay, so most of the companies now they'll be having their operations in different locations. Okay, or they're having more than one type of business. Okay, in that case some companies will fix a target for a particular location or for a particular business. Okay, or for a particular site. Okay, in that case that target will not cover the whole operations, right?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
yes or no? Yeah, so in that case we will not confirm that it covers whole operations or not. Okay, so that is the one we are going to search in this. This is also a drop down type data point. Okay, under this we have these options like company wide, country specific, product specific, business activity, site specific, uh, and others. So others mostly will not be using this others. We will be using this not specified. Okay. So we'll see when we'll choose what. So if the target you are captured, if the target disclosed in your report says like the target covers global company wide operations. Okay. If it is there, then you'll be choosing it as company wide. Okay, and also if they are not saying anything that has been excluded from the target, in that case also it means it is company wide only. Okay, and the target is given for some country specified, then you need to choose as country specific. Mostly you will not get this product specific also because it is very rare. Only few companies will give the target related to product. Okay, this you can see business activity specific. Okay, so if the company is having one or more business, okay, and they are particularly fixing a target for one business. Okay, in that case they will also say like this target excludes this business. If that is the disclosure na, then you need to choose this option, business activity. And if they're saying anything that this target includes this specific target specific site only, or this target excludes this specific site, if that is the disclosure na, then you will be choosing it as site specific. Only for a particular site they have fixed this target. Like this you need to differentiate. Okay, if you see this
No,
sample.
you didn't show any example for that.
Yeah, yeah.
In the description itself, we need to find that.
No, 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 no. Yeah, in description also you will get to know that whether it covers all operations or not. Okay. If they are not
Okay.
saying anything has been excluded, na, then automatically it is like all operations only.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you see this sample, here they are saying this is a Hong Kong Land Holdings Limited company. Okay. They are setting a target for the 4 different locations: Hong Kong, Singapore, Cambodia, and Beijing. Okay. But they are having operations more than this 4 locations. Okay, other than this 4 they are also having operations in some other locations also. So but they are fixing the target for this 4 locations only. Okay, so that is why we need to mark it as country specific. Okay, because this
Okay, sir.
target is set for the particular 4 locations only. So that is why we are choosing this as country specific. For this you need to check in the report how many locations the company is operating. That disclosure will also be available. Okay, so by comparing with that only you will come to a conclusion like it is country specific or the company itself is having its operation in these 4 locations alone. Okay. So the answer for this snap now it is country specific, and I also have another example. In this example, this is an Accenture public limited company. Okay, in this report they are saying like their approach towards the reporting. Okay, if you see the highlighted lines, the report explores our goals, progress, and performance across our global operations during fiscal 2020. So what it means?
It
If
is company wide,
Worldwide or
all
something.
the global operations, which tells that whole company operations, sir.
yes, so this is the reporting approach in this na uh, in this para. What they will disclose is this report covers what and what not. Okay, so that is why they are saying the report explores our goals. Goals means target and its progress and performance across our global operations. So that means 100% company-wide operations were covered. Okay, during the year 2020. So like this also the coverage will be disclosed, target coverage. Okay, goals is nothing but our target only. Okay, as I said, na target, goal, and aim were the 3 major keywords. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
for this disclosure, you need to choose the first option, company wide. Target covers global company wide operations. Okay, because we have the word like global.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so a few more samples will be added to this material. Okay, regarding this business activity and site specific. Okay, you will receive it in future. Okay. So the next data point is target coverage percentage. So this is also related to this data point only, target coverage. Okay. Here we
So
are.
shall we have a break time, sir?
Yeah, we can have. So it is 11:40 now. By 11:55 we'll meet. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So all of you take 15 minutes break. Team, so everyone here, right? No one is left.
Yes, sir, we are here.
Yes, sir.
Punita.
Yes, sir.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Punita's name is not here in this list. Rohini, mark the Punita's name, okay? So let's check when she is joining again, okay?
Yes, yes, I'll see.
Cover. As I said, the target coverage is company wide, okay? Covers global operations. Then what will be your target coverage percentage? Team, team, any answers? Any guess? If your target coverage is company wide, that means target covers global company wide operations. You have chosen this in target coverage. Then what will be your target coverage percentage?
Maybe 100%, sir.
Yes, exactly. So if all operation covers na, then coverage percentage will be 100 only, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you choose the first option, company wide, then by default, this data point, you should capture as 100%. Okay, no need to look for any disclosure. Okay, in the report. But
Okay, sir.
if you are capturing anything other than this company wide, like country specific, product specific, business activity, or site specific, if you're choosing any one option other than company wide, then you should have the exact coverage percentage of that specific category, like country, product, business, or site. If it is disclosed in the report, then only you will going to capture it here, the disclosed percentage. If it is not disclosed, then it will be blank only. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So for 100 percentage, by seeing this also, we can mark it as 100 percentage. Here they're saying the report explores our goals, progress, and performance across our global operations. It means 100 percentage of the operations is covered. So our coverage will also be 100 percentage. Okay, so this and this were interlinked. Target coverage and target coverage percentage is interlinked. Okay, for the first category, company wide. Okay. Other than that, if the percentage is disclosed specifically, then only you're going to capture it. If not, you should leave it as blank only. You're not going to calculate anything. Okay. For this data point, target coverage. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So the next data point is target announcement year. So please make a note that current year and target announcement year is different. Okay. So most of the people were thinking both were same, but it is not. So target announcement year means the year in which the target was announced by the company. Okay, like they're saying, right? We are fixing a target. Okay, we have fixed a target in 2019, in 2020. So that type of disclosure should be there. Then only it will be considered as the target announcement year. Okay. So you can't take the current reporting year as the target announcement year. Okay. So there should be particularly the word announced fixed. Okay, like that. Okay. And one more note, if announcement year is not disclosed in the report. Okay. If it is not disclosed.
Raymond, can we consider the announcement year as baseline year?
No, baseline year is the
Because
tracking year.
the
Okay, the
announcement
starting
would
point.
be done on.
No, baseline year can't be the announcement year. Baseline year is fixed for tracking the performance of the target. Okay, so
The
they will say like,
announcement will be done on basement year only, no?
no. Announcement year will be like in which year the company is announcing this target, like disclosing this target in the report. Okay, they will specifically mention like we have announced, we have fixed, we have set, like that. We have set a target in the year 2020, in the year 2019, in the current year, like that will be the disclosure. If that is disclosed, then that year will be your announcement year. If you see this sample now, here they are saying like in 2020, we announced a new carbon emission reduction target of 50% by 2030. Okay, like this, that announced word should be there. Okay, or fixed or set. Okay, in the so and so year, like that should be the disclosure. If it is disclosed, then this will be your target announcement year. In 2020 only this target has been announced, fixed or set. Okay.
Okay.
So 2020 will be the answer for this data point. Okay. So this is about the target announcement month. As I said, now here only the year is disclosed. I have captured in this data point. If along with this year, if the statement is like in March 2020, in August 2020, if that is your disclosure means, then that March and August, that month na, that should come under this data point, target announcement month. If they are disclosing with month na, then you should capture it in this data point, whether it is Jan, Feb, March, any month that they disclosed. The month should be captured here. Okay. And we also have the target announcement date. If date also disclosed, then you will capture here. This is a date input data point. Okay, you will capture from 1 to 31. Okay, any date that has been disclosed. Okay. So most probably you will not get this month and year because not every company will disclosed with the full date. Okay, with month and date. Only the year will be mostly it will be disclosed. So there will be a chance but where you are able to update only this data point, target announcement year. In very rare case only they will disclose month and date. Okay. So in most cases these two data points will be blank only. Okay, unless and until the report has the disclosure. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, and one more thing for this data point, target announcement year. If announcement year is not disclosed in the report, okay, in such case, the fiscal year of the report can be captured as target announcement year. Okay, if the announcement year is not disclosed, only in that case, you can capture the fiscal year of the report as the target announcement year. Fiscal year is nothing but the current reporting year. Okay, that year you can capture in this data point year. But for the fiscal year, if they given month and date na, that you should not capture this and this month and date. Okay, only the year is enough if you are capturing fiscal year instead of the announcement year. Okay, but if announcement year is given with month and date, then you will capture all the three.
So, sir, in the previous one data point screenshot, we have like from 2008, the target will be 2013. In that case, they haven't shown any announcement date. In such cases, which we will be taking? Can you give the example by
Which
that?
sample? Which sample you are saying?
The previous one, sir, that will the person they'll be showing in the percentage. Yeah, that one. Go on, sir. It will be starting from 2008 or something. This one, sir.
This one.
In this case,
Okay,
what will be the
so
announcement here?
so this is the disclosure of target. Okay, there is no announcement here in this report.
Yes.
Okay, we have the baseline year and we have the target year. Okay, and
Yes.
we have the current reporting year. Current reporting year is 2020 because this is a 2020 sustainability report, right? Then our
Yes.
current reporting year will be 2020. This 2020 only you need to capture for the announcement year if announcement year is not disclosed.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. And for the same this 2020 year now, if month and date disclosed means you should not capture. Okay,
Okay.
only year is enough. If announcement year is given with month and date, then you can capture all the three.
If not, only the year has to be taken.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the year, month and date is over. Now it is the value. So target announcement year value. So it indicates this data point indicates the value of emission or intensity as of the date of target announcement. It might differ from baseline value and baseline year. Okay. So for this now, as I said, if the announcement year is disclosed and the value for that announcement year is also disclosed, then only you will be capturing over here. Okay. If your announcement year is not disclosed in the report, surely you will don't know the announcement year and you will also don't know what value you need to capture for this data point, target announcement year. Okay. In that case, it will be blank only. Okay. Team, do you understood this data point, target announcement year value? It is just like baseline year value, target year value, and current reporting year value. That's it. Team, yes or no? Do you have any questions?
Sir,
Please ask.
is that we can't take that physical year value for this?
No, no. As I said, na only fiscal year is only allowed for this data point only. Target announcement year. Okay.
Oh,
So
for
by
all other, we should
capturing the
not
fiscal
take.
year over here, we can't take this year's value as our announcement year value.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So any doubts, team, in this data point, target announcement year value?
Sir, can you explain me once again, sir? Since my network was lost at that time, so
Okay. So
only target
announcement.
announcement year value alone.
So you all know about target announcement year. Okay, what we need to capture for that. If for the same year,
Yes, sir.
if the value is disclosed, whether it can be emission or energy. Okay, if the value is disclosed for that particular announcement year, then we will going to capture over that year. Okay, we should not capture the fiscal year value over here. Okay, the current reporting year value here. Only the announcement
Okay,
year
sir.
is disclosed and the value is disclosed, then only we need to capture.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So as you see here, this is the same report. Okay, here we have the disclosure like in 2020, we announced a new carbon emission reduction target of 50% by 2030. So this is the announcement here we have. But if I check the value now, you can see that I have for 2018, 19, and after that I have for 2021 only. There is no value for 2020. Okay, because this target is announced in 2020 only, right? So I don't have value for that. Then I will be leaving it as blank only. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So the next data point is target category. So as I said in the starting itself, we are capturing only two targets. One is emission target and another one is energy target. So under this emission and energy, we have two different categories of target. Okay. For example, under energy target now, we are having intensity as well as absolute. And the same under emission target, we are having intensity as well as absolute. Okay, then now we will see what is this intensity and what is this absolute. Okay, so anyone having any idea about what is this absolute and intensity?
Absolute means value 0, I think, sir. I'm not clear.
Okay, okay.
To the full maximum.
Okay, and intensity?
Maybe a relative term.
Yeah, it is relative to that only, but the major difference is absolute is like the exact amount of reduction.
Yes,
Okay,
sir. Exact numeric value.
exact numeric
Intensity may
value.
be in percentage also, no, sir.
No, intensity will be like it will be related to one or more value. Okay, so that is called
Okay,
as
sir.
intensity. So absolute is like a single value. Okay,
Okay, sir.
but here we will be calculating it with a different value. So that is the concept of this intensity. Okay, we'll see in detail. Okay, so for this target category, this data point, now this is a drop down data point, you will have this 5 options over there. Okay, let me show you. Under target category, we have energy consumption intensity, energy consumption absolute, and carbon emission intensity and carbon emission absolute and others. Mostly you will not be using these others. Okay, you will be choosing any of this 4 only. Okay, now we'll see what is absolute and what is intensity. So if you see this example, this is a target data. I'm reading. You just say whether it is an absolute or intensity. Okay, so we continue to make progress against our 2025 environmental targets. Since 2015, we have reduced our absolute carbon dioxide emissions, scope 1 and 2, by more than 20% and on track to meet our goal 2025 target of 25%. Okay, and we increased the percentage of electricity that is from renewable sources to more than 25 percentage, and we also on track to meet our 2025 target of 50 percentage. Now can you tell me whether this is an absolute target or intensity target?
Intensity target.
Ab- Absolute,
Intensity target. Absolute target.
because they have mentioned that absolute carbon dioxide
Absolute.
emission.
Yes, actually there were two different targets. One is the emission target and another one is energy target,
Energy target.
electricity. Okay, so for this emission target, they are directly given that as it is an absolute target, absolute carbon dioxide emission. Okay, so we will be marking it as absolute. Okay, So here na they are not saying whether it is an absolute or intensity. Okay, they're just saying we increased the percentage of our purchased electricity that is from renewable sources to 25 percentage. This is the disclosure. So we don't know whether it is an absolute or intensity. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to check whether the intensity related information is given here or not. Okay, if it is not given, then automatically it is an absolute target only. Okay, so intensity will be like as I said, it will be divided with one or more value. Okay, if you see this example, here also we are having the same energy target. Okay, but under this bracket they're saying like per unit of production. Okay, so intensity is nothing but, wait. So intensity is nothing but, I'm just showing an calculation to you. So my absolute emission is target is which is reducing if my absolute target is 50% reducing the emission. Okay, then what will be my target value? Anyone say? I'm emitting this much of tons of emission. Okay, and my target is to reduce 50% from this. And what will be my target year value?
50%.
Oh, no, I'm asking target value.
50 tons.
Yes,
50%.
3 tons. Okay, from this 100 tons, I'm going to reduce 50% uh, at the target year. So by the target year, my remaining value will be 50 only, because if I have achieved 50% reduction. Okay, then it will be 50 tons. Okay, so this is the absolute. Okay, so intensity will be given like this is my intensity. My intensity is this is in tons. Okay, so any value which is given in a single unit. Okay, any value which is given in single unit, then this is an absolute target. I mean absolute value. Okay, any single unit. But here for intensity, I will be having value as 1, and my unit will be like divided by so for intensity, I'll be having 2 units. Okay, so this is known as intensity unit. So why it is divided by revenue in the sense like intensity is nothing but in one full fiscal year, I have emitted 100 tons. Okay, so the company will calculate I have emitted 100 tons, and by emitting those 100 tons, I have generated, let's say, revenue as 10 million. Must, okay, my revenue is 1 lakh for the year. Okay, by emitting this 100 tons, I have generated 1 lakh of revenue. So for this 1 lakh of revenue, let's assume it as okay. Okay, so let it be. Okay, so I have generated 1 million, 1 lakh of USD. Let's assume it as USD, US dollars. Okay, so what the company will do is they will check for 1 lakh US dollars. I have generated 100 tons. So what will be the my intensity? So intensity, how they will find is they will divide this 100 tons of 100 tons of emission divided by. So the company's total revenue is 1 lakh US dollars, right? So the what the company will do is for 10,000 US dollars, how much of emission I have emitted? Like this they will find. Okay. So what they will do is they will divide that 100 tons of emission by the 10,000 US dollars. So that means for generating the 10,000 US dollars, they have emitted 0.01 tons of this emission. Okay, so this is how you can differentiate between the absolute and intensity. Okay.
So here, sir, so here the tons divided by the revenue. So
Yes.
the answer will be intensity.
Yes, this answer is intensity.
Okay. Okay, sir.
How intense it is for the $10,000 of revenue. It can be in any unit. For example, here it is tons of CO2e. Instead of that, they will give like tons of CO2e divided by FTE. FTE is nothing but full-time employee. Okay. So the company has generated 100 tons of emission in a year. For one particular FTE, how much percentage they have emitted? So that they need to find. Okay, so what they will do is they will divide this 100 tons divided by, for example, if they are having 100 employees in their company. Okay, that means for one employee, they have emitted 1 tons of emission, 1 ton of emission. So this is the intensity. Okay,
Okay,
the
sir.
same applies to every unit. If it is production, let's assume it is production. So the company has generated 100 tons of emission in a year, and by this the company has produced, let's assume, 5,000 cars. Okay, cars. The car manufacturing company. So the company will calculate for one car how much of emission I have emitted. So that is nothing but so for manufacturing one car, I have emitted 0.02 tons of CO2. Okay, so this is the intensity. So like this, they will calculate the intensity. So the same will be applied for the target also. So if you see this now, here they are saying as absolute carbon dioxide emission, then this is an absolute target. Okay, it is an absolute carbon emission target. But here, if you see, they're saying energy consumption per unit of production. So that means they are dividing their total energy consumption with 1 unit of production. So that means this is an intensity target. Okay. If you see the next one, here they are saying CO2 emissions. These are all targets. If you see the heading, activities and targeted areas. Okay. If you see this CO2 emission, the under bracket they are saying like per unit of production. That means they are dividing this emission with the number of production they have produced per unit of production. Okay, so this is also intensity target. But if you see this target, this is also a CO2 emission target, but in bracket they are saying total production. Okay, then it means it is an absolute. They are not dividing it with any single unit. Okay, the total value has been taken for the target. So that means this is an absolute target. Okay, like this we need to differentiate. Okay, let me show you another example. Yeah, this will be the perfect example. If you see this, uh, a new carbon emission reduction target of 50% by 2030, 2018 as the baseline. Okay, after that they are saying both in terms of absolute emission and intensity. So absolute will not have any specific unit, okay, but intensity will have. That is what they mention in bracket. Okay, so if it is intensity means this is an emission target, right? So emission will be disclosed in tons only. So what they will do is tons of CO2e divided by per unit of revenue and tons of CO2e divided by FTE, full-time employee. So these are the unit for intensity. Okay, like this we can differentiate between the absolute and intensity target. Okay, either it can be emission or it can be an energy. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So if it is an absolute, then you will be marking as energy consumption absolute. If it is an emission absolute, then you will be choosing this option. If it is intensity, energy intensity target, you need to choose this. If it is emission intensity, you need to choose this. That's it. Okay. Team, do you understood this category? There are only 4
Yes,
categories.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the next data point is target scope. Target scope is also interlinked with the target coverage. So coverage and scope both are same only. Okay. We have seen target coverage right here. Target coverage. So for this, we are looking for the coverage of the target, whether it covers all operations or any specific category. The same applies over here, but here we have only 3 options. Okay. The options are target covers selected segments, target covers all segments, or scope not determinable. These are the 3 options we have for this data point, target scope. It is nothing but we are going to look whether the target is covers a particular segment or it covers all segment. Okay, so for this now, in the target coverage data point, if you choose as company wide, that means what will you be choosing here? Team?
Target covers selected segment.
No, no, my
Target covers all relevant segments.
All relevant segments.
yes, all relevant segments because we have chosen there as company wide. So if it is company wide means global operations is covering. Okay, if the global operations covers means 100% is covered. Then if it is 100%, then here also the target covers all relevant segments only we need to choose. If you choose any other, okay, other than the company wide, okay, then you have to choose this target covers selected segments. If you're choosing as country specific, site specific, or business activity, anything other than that company wide, then you'll be choosing this option. Company covers selected segments because it is not covering 100% of operations, right? So you'll be choosing this as selected segments. If you are not getting any coverage or scope related data in the report, then you need to choose scope not determinable. We can't able to determine the scope, whether it covers all segments or not. Okay, so that is the third option we have here. So we also mentioned in the
Sir,
note.
sir, one doubt. Sir,
Yes.
if suppose that the country specific, if it is given means how that target scope will be selected, sir?
Okay, for country specific, we are capturing it as country specific. That means out of 5 country, only the 4 country has been selected for target. Okay, in that case, that one country is excluded, right?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, we will be marking it as target covers selected segments. So segments in the
Okay,
sense
sir.
all will be covered over in this like business activity, like site or country. Okay, everything will be covered under this.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Here also we have mentioned separately in note if target coverage is company wide and the coverage percentage is 100, then by default you need to choose the option target covers all relevant segments. Okay, this is also mentioned over here. Okay, do you have any doubts in this target scope?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. And the next is target units. So as I said, every target will have a unit. Okay, so we'll see which unit for which target. Okay, so as I said, we are capturing 4 different targets, right? Here I have shown that like energy consumption intensity, energy consumption absolute, or carbon emission intensity or carbon emission absolute. So this absolute and intensity will have different types of units. Okay, we'll see that. As I said, absolute values will have only one unit. Okay, if you see this TCO2E, what it means TCO2E?
Total carbon
Target
dioxide.
carbon emission.
Carbon
Carbon
dioxide.
dioxide.
No, it is not total, it is tons. Okay,
It's target
tons of CO2E. CO2E
Tons
is
of
nothing but
carbon
carbon
emission.
dioxide. Yeah, tons of carbon
Okay.
dioxide is shortly called as TCO2E. Okay, so this is one single unit. So this
Sir,
is an unit for
sir,
absolute. Yeah. Hello.
yes, sir.
No, someone has asked something. Okay, so I'm continuing. So this is the unit for absolute because there is only one unit mentioned over here. Okay, and that too, this is for emission. Okay, because emission is nothing but carbon dioxide emission, and carbon dioxide will be disclosed in this unit alone, TCO2E, tons of CO2E, or it can also be in MTCO2E. MTCO2 is nothing but metric tons of CO2E. So tons and metric tons both were same. Okay. So any disclosure, if it is TCO2E, you will choose this. If it is MTCO2E, you will also choose this only. Okay, both were same. If other than that is disclosed, for example, if tons is not there and in your report you have this unit kgCO2E. Okay, but we don't have option like kgCO2E in this list. This is the list you will have. If you see this template now, you will get an idea. If you open this drop down, you will see only this unit only. Okay, there will not be any other unit related to emission target. Okay, related to emission. I mean absolute. This is absolute. We have only one. If the report has kgCO2E as the unit, what you need to do is we have a last option like others. You will choose that. Okay, that's it. No need to mention that anywhere. Okay, only if it's TCO2E or MTCO2E, then you will choose this. If you see all this example now, you will have the idea. Here they are saying metric tons. So that means MTCO2E. You'll be choosing TCO2E as a unit. If you are seeing this, they're saying like this target is both in terms of absolute emission and intensity. Okay, if it is absolute, most probably it will be like TCO2E only. Okay. See, this is also an absolute target only. It is like our scopes of 1 and 2 carbon emission, uh, and our goals for scope 1, 2 are based on the SBTA. So they are saying just carbon emission only. That means this is intensity or absolute?
Absolute.
Yes, it is
Absolute.
absolute. So if it is an absolute, then the unit should be,
TCO.
yes, exactly,
TCO.
exactly. TCO2E, because this is the only unit we have for absolute. Okay, absolute emission. And the next unit is MWH. This is for energy, absolute energy. Okay, because this is also a single unit only. Okay, MWH is nothing but megawatt hour. Okay, so energy has been measured in MWH, electricity. Okay, so if the disclosure has this unit in report, their energy consumption is disclosed in MWH, then you have to capture it. Okay, if it is not, then no need to capture it. If it is any other than MWH, okay, like for example, KWH is given, GWH is given as the unit in the report, but we don't have that option. So that is why we are asking you to choose the last option as others. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
these are the two units for absolute target. Okay, and all this for intensity. Okay, because it is divided by some other unit. Okay, either it can be revenue, it can be full-time employee, it can be production, or it can be the MWH. Okay, so any unit which is divided by some other unit, if this is the unit disclosed in the report, then for sure it will be an intensity target only. Okay, so as you can see, every intensity target it has two units. The first unit will be like TCO2E or MWH. Can anyone differentiate me which is emission intensity and which is energy intensity from these two?
CO2 is a emission
T
intensity and
Hmm.
megawatt is a energy intensity.
Yes,
energy.
yes, correct. So why? Because this is divided with emission and this is divided with energy. So that is why we call this as emission intensity and this as energy intensity. As you can see here, most of the intensity units are for emission only. Okay, because every unit is divided by TCO2E only. Only this value, this unit is given for energy intensity. Okay, so most probably you will be choosing this only. If, as I said, any other unit intensity is given. Okay, for example, instead of this MWH, GWH is given in your report. Okay, but we don't have GWH here. Okay, we will having only MWH. So what you will be doing?
We have to select others.
Yes, others. And for this emission intensity, we have so much of options. Okay, like TCO2E by revenue, TCO2E by square meter, TCO2 by full-time employee, product, production, liter of product. So most of the intensity units were given for emission intensity. Okay, so like this, we need to choose which disclosure we have in our report. If it is any other than this, then you'll be choosing the last option as others. That's it. Have you understood this target unit?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And along with this data point, we have the another data point called as target intensity type. Okay, so this target intensity type and this data point target unit, okay, both were interlinked. How? In the sense, for this target intensity type data point, now we have three options like absolute, like sales intensity and production intensity. Okay. So let me show you in template. This will be the options: absolute, sales intensity, production intensity. And as I said, these two were interlinked. How? In the sense, suppose, as you all know, these two are the absolute unit, right? TCO2 and MWH. If you are choosing any one in this, either it can be TCO2 or MWH. Okay, when you will be choosing, when the target is an absolute target, then only you will be choosing any one of these two. If you're choosing any one of these two now, then by default you need to choose absolute, because this is an absolute unit and you are capturing an absolute target. Okay, this should be absolute. And if it is an absolute target, but the unit is not any of these two, okay. If kg CO2 is given, so you will be choosing it as others. But you know it is an absolute target, then also you will be choosing this as absolute target. Okay. Here we have MWH, but in your disclosure you have GWH. So you are marking it as others, but you know it is an absolute, then you should choose this as absolute. Okay. And other than this, if you're choosing anything like TCO2E unit of revenue, MWH divided by unit of revenue for this two. Okay, please make a note of it. For this two units, you are using over here target unit. Okay, suppose you are capturing an intensity target and the unit is TCO2E by unit of revenue. Then you should select sales intensity. If the unit is divided by revenue. Okay, either it can be an emission intensity or an energy intensity. If it is divided by revenue, then you should choose sales intensity. Okay, and if you are choosing TCO2E by product or production or liter of product, anything which ends with product. Okay, if you're choosing any one of these three unit na, then you should choose production intensity.
Production intensity.
Okay, please make a note of it. For this two, if you're choosing any one of these two, it should be sales intensity. If you're choosing any one of these three, ton of product, unit of production or liter of product, if you're choosing any one of these three, it should be production intensity. Okay, and other than this five, as I mentioned, if you're choosing anything like TCO2 by MJ, okay, or TCO2 by ton of cement, anything you're choosing other than that, then you need to choose the last option as others. Okay, team.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so you understood about this target intensity type when you will be choosing as absolute, sales, production and others.
Hello, sir. Can you
Yeah.
explain it once, please?
Okay, if the target you are capturing is an absolute target means, okay, like for example, by in target category you are choosing energy consumption absolute target. Okay, then by default your unit can be this or anything other than this. Okay, if it is GWH na, then you will be choosing as others. Okay, others. If you mark here as absolute, then by default here also it should be absolute. Okay, this is one. If you are marking as intensity over here, energy consumption intensity, okay, you're capturing an energy intensity target, so that is why your unit is MWH, unit of revenue. Okay, so if you choose this unit, okay, MWH divided by revenue, then your intensity type will be sales intensity. Okay, if the same intensity target other than this MWH divided by unit of revenue, other than this any other unit you have in your report in the disclosure, okay, then you will be choosing it as others, but you know that it is an intensity target. Okay, then you will be choosing it as others. Okay, for example, if you are capturing an emission intensity target, okay, and your unit disclosed in the report is emission divided by revenue. This is the unit disclosed in your report. If it is divided by revenue, by default it should be sales intensity. Okay, if the same emission intensity is divided by production or this three, any one of these three, TCO2 by ton of product, TCO2 by unit of production, or TCO2 by liter of product, any one of these three unit, you will be choosing production intensity. Okay, okay, any other intensity other than this three. Okay, like if you're choosing TCO2 by MJ or TCO2 by MWH, TCO2 by ton of steel, it is up to the disclosure that you have in your report. Okay, if any disclosure other than this you are capturing, na, then you should choose others, because for sales intensity we need to use this two unit only. If you are choosing any one of these two, then here it should be sales intensity. If you are choosing any one of these three, then here it should be production intensity. Okay, you got my point?
Yeah, Rahman. It's very clear.
Yeah. Okay, so this is all about target intensity type. Okay, so the next data point is target status type. So in this also we have some options in the drop down, like active, achieved, not achieved, withdrawn, replaced. So can anyone tell me why we are capturing it? What we actually need to look for this?
Like we are on the track of tracking the target, thus we are doing it properly or not, whether we achieved it or not. Like something.
Target here.
Yes, yes, we are actually going to check the status, on what status the target currently is. So that is what we are going to see. So this is the data point, target status type. Under this we have these options: active, achieved, not achieved, withdrawn, place, like that. Okay, so if you see this now, active, when you will be marking as active, when the target says they are on track, or it is an ongoing target, or the target is still in progress. Okay, if any three of this statement is disclosed in the target, means the target is active only. Okay, and when they say the target that they disclosed is completed or achieved, okay, then we will choosing it as achieved target. Okay, when they say the target is not completed or not attained, then it should be not achieved. Okay, and if they say anything like we have removed this target and we have withdrawn this target, like that, na, then it is a withdrawn target. That means they have taken back. Okay, and the last option is replaced. When they say they have fixed one target this year and the next year they have altered the target. Okay, they have changed something in that target. Okay, so in that case it should be categorized as replaced target. I am going to show you some examples. So if you see this example, these are the targets and these are its status. Okay. If you see this, the target is about achieve a 15% reduction in electricity consumption from our buildings by 2021 from baseline year 2011. Okay. So the due date will be 2021. By this, they have to achieve 15% reduction, and directly they have given in status like achieved. That means this target is achieved. So we need to mark it as achieved. Okay, this for sample 1. Okay, achieved. And for the same sample, we have achieved net zero carbon emission by 2050. The due date is 2050 and the status is on track. Why it is on track? Anyone tell me?
Because it's a future
Since
project.
20, yes, sir. Since the 2050 year is not still came, and it is on the way to reach the target.
Yes. Have some more time. Okay. So till 2050 only we'll get to know whether it is achieved or not. Till that it will be on track only. So that is why the status is in on track. So if it is in on track, then we need to mark it as active. Okay. And we'll see an example for replaced. So if you see these highlighted lines. Okay. So they're saying like they're having a target which is like reducing CO2 emissions by 30% by 2030 and 51% by 2050. This is what they have actually fixed. Okay, and later they're saying like we have now reset our targets to a 30% reduction by 2030 and an 80% reduction by 2050. So what is changed between this two targets?
The percentage.
Which
Percentage
Before
of
they said 51
2050 has
percentage,
been
and now they said it was 80 percentage.
Yeah, so the percentage is changed for the year 2050.
year
We also have
2050.
disclosure like reset, okay, replaced. So this target will be considered as the replaced target, okay.
Replaced.
And for not achieved, see this example. So this is the target and sorry, this is the target 2019 targets and this is the result, okay, and this is the evaluation. So this is the energy consumption intensity target, which is like the target is like reducing 1%, okay, by 2018. Okay, but the sorry 1% reduction from the 2018 level. That means this is 2019 target. By keeping 2018 as their baseline year, they have planned to reduce 1%, okay, of their energy consumption intensity, but the result what they got is 1.7% increase from the baseline level, that is 2018 level. So what it means, they have fixed to reduce 1%, but the result is 1.7% increase. So what it means, team?
The target is not
It
achieved,
not
sir.
achieved.
Yeah, they planned for reducing, but what happened is that it has been increased.
It's increased.
Yeah, so that is why this target is not achieved. And if you see the second example, this is emission intensity target. Okay, this is like keep below the baseline year per unit of production. Okay, so whatever the intensity that is in 2018, they are planned to keep below from that 2018 level. Okay, but what happened is 1.7% has increased from the baseline level. Okay, the same, the target is not achieved. Okay. So this is an so this is an example for the achieved target. This is a CO2 emission target. Okay, this is not an intensity, this is a CO2 emission target. The target is about reducing 16.5%, okay, by 2021 with the help of baseline year 2013, but the result is 20.1% reduction from the baseline year level. Can you able to differentiate this increase and as well as this increase?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They have planned to reduce the
More than
emission.
that, targeted.
Hmm.
Yes, sir.
Here
More
they are
than
saying
the target
increase.
they
Yeah,
achieved.
yeah, they have achieved more than they announced. Actually, they have fixed to reduce 16.5 percentage only to reduce, but they reduced 20.1 percentage, which is more than the fixed percentage. So this target is achieved. So this is how you need to differentiate between the achieved target and not achieved target. Okay. So here they are straightly given the status as achieved, not achieved. If it is not disclosed, if this is not available, then how can you differentiate? By seeing the target and its results. By comparing these two, we can decide whether it is achieved or not achieved. We can say, right, the target is fixed for 16.5% reduction and the company is reduced 20.1. That means they have achieved more than they stated. Okay, they fixed it. So it is achieved target. Here they have planned to reduce 1%, but the result is quite opposite. The 1.7 percentage is increased. So automatically this target is not achieved. Okay, like that also we can uh, infer whether it is achieved or not achieved. Okay.
Okay,
So
sir.
this is how we need to differentiate and we need to capture the status, whether it is active, achieved, not achieved, withdrawn and replaced. Okay. So any doubts in this target status type?
No, sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir. Here only.
And the next set of data point is target offset. So this is a very rare data point team. Okay, so most probably every company will not disclose this offset data. Okay, only few companies may disclose. So these are the set of data points, like from target offset to this. So totally it is like 7 data points. Okay, so anyone know what is offset?
Not worked out.
Anyone? Any other answers? Okay, so let me explain. Target offset, actually offset is nothing but removing the responsibility from our the respective company's side. Okay, so that is called as offset. If you see this description now, so if the target considers offset in reaching the target, that means let's assume it is an emission reduction target. Okay, so the reduction is like 75 percentage by 2030. Okay, this is a report of Apple company, Apple Incorporation. Okay, here they are saying like Apple plans to reduce emission by 75 percentage by 2030. Okay, then what will happen to the remaining 25%? By 2030 they are going to reduce 75 percentage only. Okay, but what about the rest 25 percentage? So that is why they are saying we are developing innovative carbon removal solutions for the remaining 25% of the emission. So team, every company will not able to reduce 100 percentage of their emission. Okay, it is not at all possible. Okay, some value, some percentage of emission will be there for sure. Okay, but how they can avoid that also? Nah, that is called as offset. Okay, so what they will do is this remaining 25 percentage, na, this they know that they can't able to reduce. Okay, for that they are saying like we are developing an innovative carbon removal solutions. That means the company will provide in return something to the environment. Okay, because this 25 can't able to reduce. Okay, so they for sure they're going to emit this 25 percentage. Because of emitting this 25 percentage of emission, how much of how much the environment gets affected now? For the same affection, they are going to replace, they are going to provide something in return to the environment. Okay, so that is called as offset. Okay, for example, if this company is reducing reducing 75 percentage and the 25 is not able to reduce, and to compensate this 25 percentage now, the company will say like, we will plant more number of trees. Okay, or we will make our company more greenish, okay, more greenery environment. Okay, or we will do some process to minimize those emissions. So like that they will give some statement. Okay, so that is like giving something in return to the environment. Okay, because they know very well they are not able to, they are not going to reduce those 25 percentages. So in spite of the reducing that 25%, they are saying like, we are providing something in return to the environment, like planting trees. Okay, or providing something in return to the environment, like making their environment more greenery. Okay, like that they will do. So it will get compensated, right? So that is called as
Yes.
offset. Okay. So for this data point, target offset, this is a yes or no data point. Okay. So you are going to check whether the company is having target offset data or not. Okay. These are the keywords like offset, carbon offset, and carbon removal. These three are the major keywords which you need to use to find this data. Okay. So if you see
Okay,
this,
sir.
they're saying like, they are having some innovative carbon removal solutions for the remaining 25 percentages from its footprint. Okay, so this is the keyword you need to use. If it is disclosed na, then you need to mark it as yes, target offset is there in this report. Okay, this is the first data point under target offset. Okay, if you know, if you got the data that this is the target offset is there. And the next data point is like target offset value. If target offset is there means you need to check how much value they are going to offset. If it is an emission offset na, the emission value, actually emissions only will be able to offset. Okay, not the energy. Okay, so emission value, how much they are going to offset. If that is disclosed, then you need to capture that value over here in this data point.
Rahman, actually, I am trying to admit him. You also did no 2 times. He's not able
Yes,
to get
yes.
in meeting.
Oh, he's here, right? Gokula Kannan.
Okay, now it's.
No, 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 he's not here. Kunasekara. No, he's not able to join. Okay, so you are going to search whether the value of that offset is disclosed in the report or not. Okay, so that's it. So if you see this example, here we have the emission data, how much the company is emitting. Okay, and they also saying like carbon offset emissions, that also is been, it's been disclosed. Okay, so if you see this now, their emissions for 2020 is this much values. Okay, from natural gas this much they are emitting, from diesel, from fuel this much. Okay, and from electricity this much. So all together na, their total GAG emission, okay, for the year 2020 is 85,400. And what they are saying is GAG emission of total energy consumption adjusted with green energy, that is 24,434 tons of emission. So this amount of emission they are going to offset. So that is why the same amount is given under carbon offset 244340. Then your cumulative GAG value will be 0 because the total emission will get offset by this offset process. Okay, so if you have this particular value which says carbon offset value, Okay, then you need to capture this value under here 24434. Only the value is disclosed. Okay, if they're saying carbon offset and they also provided the emission value, then you can capture it here. If it is not disclosed, kindly leave it as blank. Okay, this is for this sample. Okay, and the next is target offset percentage. There we have captured value. Here we are going to capture the offset percentage. If you see this example, here they are saying like they are developing some innovative carbon solutions for the remaining 25 percentage, not all the 100 percentage. Okay, 75 is get reduced. Okay, that is different, but the offset is for the remaining 25 percentage only. So we need to capture this 25 over here, target offset percentage, if it is given in percentage. Okay, in Apple company they are stating in percentage only, but in this company they are providing with the values. This value they are going to offset. So according to the disclosure we are going to capture. Okay team, if it is value then capture in this data point. If it is percentage, capture under this data point.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and the next data point is target offset type. Now you got the target offset is there or not, and you have got the value or the percentage. Now it's time to look what type of offset is this. Okay, so under this we have two options. One is compensation and another one is neutralization. So compensation is nothing but when the company says they are investing or funding, okay, for offset related activities. If they say like this, okay, then what it means, they are providing in return something to the environment, right? Investing or funding. So when we receive something from the company to the environment, okay, then it is compensation. Okay, so neutralization is like the quite opposite. It is not like investing or funding or providing anything in return to the environment. Instead of that, what the company will say is we are not providing anything in return to the environment, but instead of what we can do is we will try to neutralizing the emission instead of compensating. For example, if a company says like we are not going to provide anything in return, but instead of what we will do now, for example, if we are emitting 100 tons, if we emitted 100 tons this year 2022, okay, and for the next 3 to 4 years we will be emitting this 100 tons only, not more than that. If they give any assurance like that na, then it is not compensation, it is like neutralizing. Okay, we will choose the second option. Only they compensate, we will choose compensating. If it is not there, then we will choosing it as neutralization. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. These are the keywords like invest, funding, compensating, compensation, carbon credits. If you have this keyword also, it is like compensating. Okay. And if you have neutralizing or reducing, then it should be like neutralization. Okay. So if you see this sample now, here they're saying like this is the Apple company. Carbon removal, how they are removing. Apple is investing in forest. Okay, company will invest in new projects. Okay, so like this investing or compensating, that keyword should be there. If it is there now, we can mark it as compensation. Okay. So that is all about target offset type. Okay, and the next data point is target offset description. As you know, right, for a target description, what you need to capture, the same has to be captured over here for the offset details. Okay, so in this snap now, I have highlighted this two lines. Okay, the same I have captured over here. Apple is investing in forest and other nature-based solutions around the world. So this is the description for the target offset. Okay. So the exact data which is disclosed in report with regards to offset, that you need to copy paste it here. Target offset description. Okay.
Yeah, Renu.
Yeah. And the next is target offset certification. This is a very rare kind of data points team. So most probably you will not get this data. So let me explain this. So this is not the certificate which relates to the offset. Okay. So for this we have three keywords, only this three keywords: certificate, certification, certified. Okay. If you have the offset details in the report, and if there is any certification or certificate related to this target offset, okay, if it is there now, you will be marking it as yes. Okay, if it is not available, then you should leave it as blank. You should not mark it as no. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And the next is target offset owned CCS. So CCS is nothing but carbon capture and storage. Okay, so this is nothing but a process which most of the companies use to capture the carbon emission from their production itself without letting it into the atmosphere environment, by capturing it and they're storing it by landfilling. You all know landfilling, right?
No, sir.
Planting the trees.
No, landfilling, I'm saying. So they will capture the carbon emission from their production and they will landfill it, storage and landfill it. So landfill is something like storing under the ground. Okay. So if we let it to the environment only, it will get affected. The environment may get affected. So without letting it into the atmosphere, they will capture this carbon emission and they will capture and they will store it in the underground. Okay. Like in the land. So this is the
Okay, sir.
process called CCS. Okay. And this also you will going to mark it as yes when this keyword is disclosed in report. CCS or carbon capture and storage. If the company which you are processing is doing this process, carbon capture storage, okay, then you will mark it as yes. If no information regarding this CCS in the report, na, you should leave it as blank. That's it. Okay. Team, yes or no? Have you
Yes, sir.
understood about this
Okay, sir.
CCS?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yes, yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, so the offset data points were over. Now we are into target net zero. So as you all know, what is net zero target, right? Zero
Yes,
in the
sir.
emissions.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Hmm.
sir.
If you are capturing a target net zero, I mean net zero target or carbon neutral target, then you will be marking this data point as yes. Okay. If you are capturing any other target which is not a net zero or carbon neutral, then you should leave it as blank.
Okay, sir.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So see here, I have the electricity reduction target and as well as the net zero carbon target. So for this target, I won't mark anything under this data point. I will leave it as blank only. While capturing this target, I will be marking it as yes, this is a net zero target. Okay. So the next data point is target estimation type. So in this we have two options like reported and estimated. This is like self-evaluation team. So when will you choose reported and when will you choose estimated? It's like when we capture the target as it is disclosed in the report. Okay, so if you see this now, I have the target data I have my target here, I have my base here, I have my reduction percentage, and I have my status. Okay, and I already know this is an absolute target, not an intensity target. Okay, so every detail is disclosed in the report. I'm taking it as it is disclosed in the report. I'm not changing anything. Okay, if the target that you have taken as it is disclosed in the report, then you'll be choosing as reported. And when will you choose estimator na? When we made any calculations for any one data point. Okay, so calculations will be done for this data point. 1 second. Suppose you are capturing a wait a minute. Suppose you are capturing a absolute emission reduction target. Okay, so here they are given in bracket like scope 1 and scope 2. So emission will be categorized as 3 scopes team. Okay, scope 1, scope 2 and scope 3. Okay, scope 1 is nothing but direct emission, scope 2 is nothing but indirect emission, and scope 3 is like other indirect emission. Okay, so this emission is categorized as 3: scope 1,
Okay,
scope
sir.
2 and scope 3. Okay, so here they're saying like reducing the absolute greenhouse gas emission, the carbon emission. Particularly they're saying for scope 1 and scope 2. They're not saying scope 3. Okay, and for the same company you have the value. Okay, scope 1 value you have, scope 2 value also you have, like separate. Okay, but you need to add both, right, to update the value. So by the time you are making some calculation, right, adding this scope 1 and scope 2 and deriving a total value, and you are updating that under the value, like it can be a baseline year value, it can be a target year value, or it can be current reporting year value. Okay, if you are adding anything and updating anything in the data point now, then you are making some calculations. In that case only you will be marking it as estimated, because the value which you mentioned, which you captured now, is not in the report, right? For example, if scope 1 is 100 tons and scope 2 is 200 tons, okay, anyhow you need to add both, you will get the value is 300, but that 300 is not mentioned in the report, it is only 100 and 200. You are updating some other value, right, as 300. So you are doing some calculation. So that case you need to choose as estimated. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Everyone understood it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is all about estimation type. Okay. And the next data point is target type. This is one single data point team. Okay. Target type. Under this single data point, we have different categories. So this is very easy. So kindly listen. So can you able to see this target type?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, under this target type, this is one single data point. Under this target type data point, we have different categories like carbon emission scope 1, carbon emission scope 2, carbon emission scope 3. And for this scope 3, we have 15 different categories. Okay, like 15 different categories. And after that, we have type as energy and the target type as others. So these are all the checkbox type team. Okay, checkbox in the sense you'll be marking it as You'll be ticking this when it is disclosed. If it is not, you will be leaving it as blank only. Okay. For example, so this is like target type. Under that, the first category is carbon emission scope 1. So it is like a checkbox, as I said. You need to mark as 1 when it is disclosed. Okay. So if you see this sample, why people are unnecessarily leaving and coming again? Okay, if you see this snap now, this is the target information where they are saying like commitment to achieve a 20% reduction in carbon emission, particularly for scope 1 and 2 by 2024, and for striker facilities to be carbon neutral by scope 1 and 2 by 2030. So this is a emission reduction data by 20 percentage, particularly for scope 1 and scope 2. So this is the information you will be capturing under target description, right? Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
If
Yes,
you
sir.
capture the information as scope 1 and scope 2 in the description, means what you need to do is you need to go to this target type, this area, and under this scope 1 you need to mark it as 1, and under scope 2 you need to mark it as 2, and others will be blank only, because the
2 or
target you
1,
are
sir.
capturing 1
Sir, okay, okay.
1. Under carbon emission scope 1 you will be marking as 1, and under carbon emission scope 2 you will be marking as 1, because this particular target is given for reducing the scope 1 and 2 emissions only. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And if you see this snap, so if you see this snap, this is like emission reduction target only, but for which scope and all they have given.
Scope 1, 2, and 3, sir.
So the whole category of this emission, okay, they're going to reduce the emission. They fix a target for both scope 1, 2, and 3. So what I will do is I will go here. I will mark it for scope 1, 2, and 3. Unless and until they have disclosed the particular category for scope 3. Okay. Unless and until I will mark it under scope 3 only. If they are provided with the category, then I will mark it as per the category they have disclosed. Okay. So this is
Sir,
the
one doubt, sir.
yeah.
Sir,
They have
scopes
given
1,
scope
2.
1, 2,
And
3
3.
and 3 square have been given.
No, that is not 3 square. That is the
3
footnotes.
subdivision 2.
No. Footnotes. Okay, every small number which is given like this, na, it is called as footnotes. If you check in the report under the same page, na, for this 2 they have mentioned something. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sir, for that scope 1, 2, and 3, we are just mentioning as number 1, no, sir.
One only. Given a is called as one details for one.
Rahman, your voice is little low.
Yeah, so this is called as footnote scheme. Okay, so if you see now, here they're saying like 2. So that means you need to check this second footnote. Okay, what this
Okay.
scope 3 is all about. Here they are saying like scope 3 is all about other indirect emission occurring in the value chain. Example, air travel. Okay, like that they have mentioned. So if it is particularly given for the air travel, then we can mark it as 1 in the air travel because we have scope 3 business travel. Okay, instead of marking it here, I can mark it here. Okay, because air
Okay,
travel
sir.
and business travel both were same. Okay, air travel, car travel or train travel, anything, any travel comes under this business travel. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so but here now they are saying as an example only. Okay, not this scope 3 emission, this full value, this 7402 is came from this air travel. This is just an example they are giving. They're saying like this is from other indirect emissions occurring in the value chain. Example, air travel. That's it. But other than this, we have so many categories under the scope 3, right? So that they have not disclosed here. So that only for that only we are marking as a general in scope 1. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So if you see this next example. Here also they are saying like particularly for scope 1 and 2. So I'll be marking on scope 1 and 2 only in this 2. Others will be blank. And also we have the energy target. Okay, purchase electricity target. So if we are capturing this target and for all the energy targets, we have only one category over here like energy use. Okay, under this we need to mark it as 1. Okay, on the row where you are capturing the energy target. Okay, not in the same line. For every target we have capture in, we need to capture in separate row. Okay, the energy target and emission target cannot be clubbed together. Okay, team. For example,
Okay,
in
sir.
one line you are capturing emission target means the energy target should be captured in the second line. Okay, and for that the
Okay,
target
sir.
type will be marked under energy use. Okay,
Okay, sir.
and other than this 3. Okay, for example, if the target doesn't have these details, whether the target is for scope 1 or scope 2 or scope 3. Okay, they're generally giving a statement like reducing the GHG emission by 50 percentage by 2030. If that is a disclosure you have and you don't know whether it is scope 1, scope 2 or scope 3, in that case, what will you do? What will you do? In which category you will mark it as 1? Team.
Sir, for which case, sir?
For example, if the disclosure is like the company is fixed a target to reduce GHG emission by 20 percentage by 2030. This is the disclosure you have. You don't know which emission they are going to reduce, whether it is scope 1 or scope 2 or scope 3. Generally, they are given like reducing the greenhouse gas emission by 20 percentage.
Okay. So in
No
that
idea,
case,
sir.
yes, sir, where we have to represent, we
Hmm.
leave blank, sir.
No, no. We
So
have the
maybe we
last
use
option.
others.
Yes,
Others
exactly.
option.
Okay.
We
Others.
have the others option for every data point. Okay. If it is
Okay, sir.
not in specific, if it is in general, then you can mark it in under others.
Okay, sir.
And the same others will apply for the net zero and carbon neutral target. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So because we don't have separate category for net zero and carbon neutral. Okay. If they are saying net zero and along with that under bracket they are saying scope 1 and 2 na, in that case you can mark it under 1 and 2. Okay, but unless and until they're not disclosing the scope details, you should mark it under others only. If it is a net zero or carbon neutral, or it is general like reducing GHG emission, reducing absolute greenhouse gas emission, reducing absolute emission. Like that in general, if the target is there means you need to mark it under others only. The target type will be others.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and for energy, we have this one category only, energy use. If it is energy intensity or energy absolute, you will be marking under this category only. Okay, this is in
Okay, sir.
general. And for this scope 3, this 15 categories now, you will be marking when it is specifically disclosed as we are going to reduce scope 3 purchased goods. We are going to reduce scope 3 capital goods. Like if it is disclosed specifically, then you will be marking under that particular category as 1.
Sir, if you have any example for the scope
Yeah,
3,
I have
like,
examples. Yes.
okay.
This is scope 3. Okay, so target type carbon emission scope 3. I have marked as 1 under scope 3. Why? Because this is the target for 2030. Okay, 2030 scope 3 emissions. They are going to reduce scope 3 emissions. Okay, by 116543 this value. Okay, so under their scope 3 emission, they have that 15 category. They have specifically mentioned which are all the category they are going to reduce from 2020 to 2030. Okay, so this is a disclosure. This is an example for the different kinds of categories. So if you see this purchased goods and services, we have this category purchased goods. Okay, so for this company, the company name is called as this. Okay, for this company, while I'm capturing the scope 3 emissions now, I'll be marking under all this category as 1, except this upstream leased assets, processing of sold products, and franchises and investments. Why?
Because that was not included in that scope 3 column.
No, not included in the scope 3 is not the right answer. Not included in the target.
Not included in target.
Hmm. It is excluded from the target. So they are particularly focusing on this categories alone, not in this 4. So what I will do is I will mark all the category as 1. Okay, except this 4: upstream leased assets, processing of sold products, franchises, and investment. We'll leave this as blank, upstream leased assets. We'll leave this franchise and I will also leave this investment. And also this processing of sold products. Processing. Okay, this is different. This is different. Use of sold products. This we have separate category here. Use of sold products. Okay, so under processing only, I will not be marking anything. So other than that, I will mark everything. And upstream also not there. Upstream leased assets. Okay, this will be my answer. Okay, team.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay, sir.
whatever is disclosed specifically, okay, for that only you will going to capture as 111. If it is not disclosed, then you should not capture. Okay. So this is all about this target type team. Do you have any doubts in this target type?
No, sir.
Okay.
No,
And it
sir.
is over team. So I have covered all the 55 data points. So under this one data point only, we are having this much of categories. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Those 20 categories. So you're just going to mark it as one. That's it. Okay. So any doubts in this team, in this data points?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Any other questions other than this? So please complete the first assessment team, the exposure and screening. Okay. Try to send as soon as possible to your respective evaluators. Okay. And
Okay,
this
okay, sir.
and this assessment, it will be shared with you after this training session.
Okay, sir.
Okay, try to finish this, and we also be providing one issuer for this, where you need to capture the number of targets. Okay, every company will not have a single target. Okay, the number of targets may differ from company to company. Okay, as you see here. By seeing this statement, can anyone tell how many targets were there?
The two,
Yeah, what
Two
are all
target.
those?
2024 and
Carbon
2030.
reduction goal.
20% reduction.
Carbon reduction
Okay,
is 20% reduction,
okay.
and scope 1, scope 2 by 2024. Carbon neutral also, scope 1,
Zero
scope 2
reduction
by
by
Yes,
30.
exactly, correct. So for 2024, they're going to reduce 20 percentage of emission, which is for scope 1 and 2. And by 2030, they're going to be carbon neutral for scope 1 and 2. Carbon neutral in the sense net zero. So your target year value will be zero and the reduction percentage will be 100%. Okay. Yeah, like this only differentiate like how many targets were there. So in this also we have two targets. One is electricity consumption and energy target and the net zero target. And one more example. Yeah, so in this, how many targets you have, team? Can anyone say?
one.
Yes, only one.
Chances.
3.
How it is
I
three? Can you
think
explain?
two. Two.
Two. Okay. Could you please explain what are those two?
Yes, a carbon emissions reduction target of 50%, sir,
Okay.
by 2030.
Hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
target.
And
And then
observe
in terms of absolute emissions, they were
and in the
giving in the scopes 1 and 2, sir.
No, no. Actually, your
Ambitious
understanding is not correct. Here, the target
Actually,
percentage is same. Okay, only 1% is there, 50% reduction. And your target year is also same, 2030. But they have given like the wordings like both in terms of absolute emission and intensity. So that means they're going to reduce 50 percentage in absolute emission as well as in intensity. They're going to reduce 50 percentage in intensity also. Okay, so that is why they're mentioning the word both in terms of absolute emission and intensity. And under intensity, we have two different units. One is like per unit of revenue, and the next is full-time employee. So that means this statement has three targets. What are those three is one is 50 percentage reduction of absolute GHG emission by 2030. That is one. Okay. And again, 50 percentage emission of emission intensity per unit of revenue. Okay, by 2030. That is second target. The third is 50 percentage of emission intensity by 2030 of full-time employee. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So there are three
Then
targets in
for
this.
they have given for scopes one
All
and
these targets are for scope 1 and 2 only.
okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Rahman, one more we have, no? That carbon neutral by 2030.
In this statement.
Third line. In 2000.
Committed. No. That is different. So it is like if the target here is same only. Okay. If there is different target here, na, then we can consider it as different target. Okay. But here the target here is same 2030 only. That means if you achieve this, na, you will be achieving this. That is the concept. Okay.
Okay.
If you achieve this 50, and you will be achieving this carbon neutral by 2030. Instead of this 2030, they have mentioning like 2031, 2035, any other year, then we can consider it as a separate target. Why? Because the company has set a carbon neutral for a different year, 2031 or 2035, anything. Okay.
Okay.
So here, how many targets were there, team, in this statement? Team?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Three, sir.
Sorry, how many?
Three.
Three.
Energy
Yes.
consumption
Yeah. Energy
and
consumption,
carbon emission
carbon
per
emission.
And
unit of production and carbon emission per unit of production and carbon emission total production division.
Hmm. So there were three targets. The first two were intensity target, and this is the absolute target.
Absolute target.
Yeah. Okay, team. So now you got something about the target because everyone is giving the correct answers. I hope. Okay, team. So we'll finish with this. If you don't have any doubts, okay. If you have any doubts now, please ask, or else we can wind up. We will receive the assessment after this session. Do you have anything to ask with us?
Is there
No,
any
sir.
time limit for complete assessment, sir?
You can submit this today's giving this assessment now by EOD.
By
EOD, end of the day.
end of the day. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
So if you complete the assessment then and there, na, then it won't be a big problem for you. Okay. So it is just 55 data points only. Hardly it will take 2 to 3 hours only. If you finish then and there itself, then there will no be a burden upon you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So if you're keeping everything in account, na, then it will be a problem for you. Like
Yeah,
if
okay.
management ask anything in urgent, na, then you will be in problem. So please try to complete then and there itself. Okay.
okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
So by EOD, you will be sending your outputs to your respective evaluators. Okay, because they are also waiting for your output. Okay, there are also some other work, but they are saying like the trainees were not yet sent their outputs. We are waiting from morning. So their work also getting disturbed. Okay, so please avoid that and try to finish on the given time itself. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Team. Since right. questions? இருந்தா கேளுங்க. You have any doubts?
Rahman, that Punita did not join again. For the second half, no, she was not there.
See, doing like this now, how can we know that you have learned all these data points? So we need to mark the absent for the second half training. So usually we will take attendance on both time, whether the start of the meeting and the ending of the meeting. Okay, so we believe you team. Okay, so that is why we are not taking attendance at the end of the session. If you do like this now, then you are forcing us to take attendance at the end of the session also. So please avoid this kind of issues. Okay. So that's it, team. That's it from our side. You will be receiving your assessment, okay, and try to complete by EOD, okay, and send to your respective evaluators. Okay, team.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
sir.
Rahman,
Yes, yes.
what about yesterday's assessment?
Yeah. So yesterday assessment you have received by 7 o'clock only, right? 7 o'clock,
Yes, yes,
6:30.
yes.
So all of you have completed and sent to the evaluators.
No, not yet.
So only if you all send to them, they will evaluate and they will provide as a consolidated result. If I get the consolidated result only, that I can share with you and we can discuss on your results.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
So try to send as soon as possible. Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. After
Okay,
lunch,
sir.
we'll send.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, team. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rahman.